Morning, everybody. So I was just talking to Addison about all these different things. We're planning out the puja that we have going for tomorrow, which is sold out and everything. So if you are interested in the puja, be interested no more. There are no that. So the puja is sold out, but there will be, I think I'm going to just quick notation here. It's not launched yet. I haven't even written it up, but I will be doing a satsang in November. So that's going to be a tantric discussion on different things. And we're going to be working through what I call the pleasure palette. It'll be definitely a very cool experience. I'm also going to be announcing my level 1 training certification for the quantum integration tantra. So learning how to, I did the introduction a couple months ago, and we're going to be doing the level 1 training on this in November. So anybody who participated in the introduction, hey, this is going to be your opportunity to go a little bit deeper and learn some of the work on that quantum integration work through Tantra that some of you are experiencing personally, and some of you came to the introduction. And if you did not come to the introduction, that's totally cool too. It's absolutely fine. Level 1 is level 1. It is open to everybody. So look for deets coming out on that very, very soon. But yeah, this morning, it's number one. Wow, we had a tornado blow through Dallas last night. Took out just a few buildings, a radio station gone. I think a Home Depot gone. All this kind of stuff. Oh yeah, one of the Dallas football, one of the Cowboys' houses I heard was demolished with the tornado as well last night. So that happened. It was a massive, massive storm. It was tons. It came through quick and hard and fast, and really just moved everything a lot. But yeah, so that happened. And this morning, the sky is blue, the birds are chirping, the sun is shining. I'm taking my kid up in the air so that he can go take a little car thing up. I don't even know what the heck they're called, but where he's gonna have wings attached to a little car thing, and we're gonna drive. He's gonna drive up, and hopefully he does not crash his little wannabe plane. So it is going to be an adventurous day today. But, as I was sitting here and I was thinking about everything and just like, what's the message of today? I was just like, we think about all this stuff when it comes to intimacy, when it comes to turn on and play. When we think about our sex, we think about sex being intercourse, being a stress reliever, and being a sign of love, being connection, being all this different stuff. When sex is actually an energy. It is just an energy, and we can have this beautiful sexual energy cultivated within inside ourselves. We don't need another being for that. We can just have it. But when interacting with another being, of course, it gets heightened, and we can intensify that. We can expand it, and we can experience different layers and levels of ourself and have greater self-awareness through our sex. But in order to do that, we have to actually become vulnerable. We have to open up. We have to surrender to that sexual energy, that beautiful, beautiful sexual energy. And that's what really Tantra is about, right? Tantra is about sexual energy moving through us, and not just being there for our sex, not just being there for that actual intercourse, but to understand the sexual energy as the creative life force that it is. And we're not talking about the life force of making babies. We're talking about that vitality that we experience as human beings when we are really in the flow of life, when we are really, really turned on, and our energy is just magnetic and just captivating and pulls in all the abundance that we want. That's what being in the flow is. We are in the flow when we feel amazing, when we feel good, when we feel turned on, when we feel ignited, when we have purpose and passion and direction in life, and things are just moving with ease. That is that state of flow that we can get into. And we get this through the understanding in the tantric field, is the understanding of that sexual energy. And that sexual energy is that cultivator of all of the flow, because it is that creative force that brings in all of the beautiful connections that we can have. Okay? So I was thinking about that, and I was like, what's one of the key points, and I know anybody who's watched Conscious Coffee consistently over the last couple of years of doing this probably gets tired of me talking about appreciation, but appreciation is one of the key factors to living a life that is unbound and turned on and just full of blessings and abundance. And yesterday morning I had gotten out of the shower and was bouncing around my bathroom stark naked, drying off and putting my oil on and doing all this kind of stuff. And I sat down on the edge of my bathtub and I was thinking about my current relationship with my guy. And I found myself having what I call a conversation with God. And I was thinking about my goals, my dreams, the aspirations that I have, the things that I want to get accomplished over the next year, 2 years, 5 years. And I was going, but boom, boom, boom. And I'm like, yes, you can have that. Yes, I talk to myself like that in my head. I'm like, yes, you can have that. You can have that. Like that is a possibility. It is. That feels good. That feels really fun. That feels really playful. And then I had this initial reaction, this pullback inside myself of like, man, I hope I get support on this. And then I started laughing at myself because I was like, never have I ever actually had a person in my life that is so damn supportive of just me going and doing and living my dreams and trying to, I guess, dance in my flow, because I'm one of those people that are all over the place constantly. I was just asking him yesterday, I was like, have you ever dated anybody that's so go, go, go the way I am? Because I am always off for the experience and the expansion and the growth and play. And, it's just like, it's hard to keep me in one spot probably. But I found myself in this deep level of appreciation for the joy, the connection, the play, the support that I have in him, but also in my family and in my friendships of my current life, and the realization that it's not always been that way, and to keep the focus on the appreciation so that it remains that way. And that is, I think, one of the key factors that we need to keep in mind when we're trying to create this dynamic life of thriving and abundance and having our dreams manifest for us. It is that we need to be appreciative of what we have right now. Because when we get stuck in the idea of the future, when we go, oh, I can't wait till this happens, life will be great when this happens, I'll be happy when this happens, I'll feel fulfilled when this happens, I'll be able to let that old shit go when this happens, I'll be able to do this when that happens, oh, when this opportunity comes about, then you'll really see how great my life can be. All of that makes it where it's not with us now. It has us not in a state of appreciation for the now, but in a state of it's still detached. It's outside of self, and it is one of those things that it prevents us from ever achieving that we want so much. So we have to feel it before we can have it. We have to experience that feeling, that beauty inside of ourselves, that peace, that love, that connection, that fullness inside of ourselves before we can actually physically have the manifestation start to come about. And the beautiful thing about this is that everything that we are actually striving for is a feeling. We're always going after a feeling. Think about it. We have sex for what reason? Physical sex, like intercourse. We have that for what? What are we actually going for there? It's not even the physical contact. It's the sensation that we get. It is the emotion that we experience. It is the connection. It is the release, the release of stress, the feeling of love, the feeling of being seen, the feeling of intimacy, of surrender, the feeling of just having beautiful connection with somebody. All these different things is the feeling of just joy, of bliss, of like, right? Like when we have a good orgasm, it's like, yes, it is this feeling that moves through us. Well, physical sensation is linked to emotional response as well. And that is what we are really truly after, is the emotional response to be happy, to be fulfilled, to be satisfied, to be feeling good, okay? To be feeling good. So no matter what it is, our sex or our dreams or our goals, it all comes back to these feelings. And all we have to do is have that feeling right now inside of ourselves and keep our focus on those good vibes, right? On those good vibes to actually have it manifest. But when we bring our attention to, oh yeah, I feel good, this is great, but now we kill all the good vibes, because our words don't matter. They ain't worth shit, okay? It's what we actually feel inside. So this can be doing everything. Our physical bodies, we can put the action out there. We can talk the talk. We can appear to be walking the walk. We can be doing all this different stuff. But if we are not actually feeling it inside of ourselves, then it's not going to manifest. It's not actually going to happen for us, which is where we see this, I'm doing all of this, I'm speaking all of this, but where is the actual creation of everything that I'm working my ass off for? Well, you're working your ass off for it because you have it outside of yourself and you're not actually feeling it inside of yourself. And that's why it's so difficult. The difficulty is not supposed to be there. We're not supposed to be suffering. We're not supposed to be struggling. The struggle is self-created. That is not the way it's supposed to be. We're supposed to be moving with ease and flow. It may not be a direct line. Matter of fact, it's never a direct line. We never get to go from here to here just like that, smooth, direct line. It is always a zigzag, flowing line, much like the ocean waves coming in. That is exactly the way our life is that we move in that flow, in the current, and is getting in alignment to that and allowing ourselves to be led from one thing to the next thing to the next thing that feels good, that feels in alignment, that calls to us, that we find a passion, a turn on to. But what do? We end up not having appreciation, not having gratitude. We verbalize a quick gratitude and then we focus on our fear. Okay, we state that we are happy, but then we talk about all the negativity in our life. We believe that it is proper to discuss our wounding, to discuss our sicknesses, our stresses, the different things that are negative in our world. Okay, being those might actually be there, but we do not actually apply our focus to the good things. Instead, we focus on the bad things. And then we wonder why. Why is it not manifesting, right? But, you know, just the last few weeks, my last few weeks have been almost a blur, you could say, even with going to Belize last week, which was strangely slow-paced and a blur all at the same time. It was definitely a very unique trip in the energetics of it because Belize, and going there at this time of the year, being slow season, it was really slow-paced. But I know that both Addison and I were just like, wow, we did all of this today, and it feels like the day just went by really quick. But if we actually checked in on the timeline, it was like the day was moving really slow. It was definitely a mental interesting energetics. I'll just leave it at that. But with that, you know, it's just my everyday life kind of is like that, where there's so much fast pace and so much to get done in any given day and so many moving parts and people and everything, and I wouldn't change it for the world. I love that connection and intimacies that I have, but there is also this really fast pace to that, so there's like that blur. But I can tell you that in that blur, I find myself doing these little snapshot moments, and I know I did a conscious coffee on this last week, I think it was. Actually, in Belize, I did snapshot moments, conscious coffee, but I really find myself at this high point in life where I am doing these appreciation snapshots of just really being mesmerized by these little moments, and they seem like such little moments, but they're big. They're big because of the energy that comes from them and that alignment that comes from them, because when you really soak into those moments like that, you start to expand that energy out, and guess what? You get more of it. You just get more of that beauty, more of that connection, more of that joy, that abundance that just can flow in. And that is what it is. It is being in flow. And staying in flow means to not put expectation on the flow, to not limit your flow by trying to control it with thought. There's a big difference between trying to think something and receiving the thought of something. And when we're in flow, we are in this very kind of like psychic level of being where we are receiving and we are not forcing the thought, where when we are trying to hardcore manifest something and make it happen, we may be journaling it to death and we're sitting there and we're like, I'm meditating. No, I'm trying to think this in, and what we're doing is we're trying to force it into place, force it into manifestation, and instead of just knowing that it's coming and opening up and just receiving it because it's there. We already asked for it. It's coming. Now we just have to get in alignment and be led to it, right? And it be led to us as it's here, and we're just going to go towards it if we let go of our need to control of the speed or how it comes about, but to just open up to that. And that's where we step out of the appreciation, we step out of our flow, we step out of our creative energy, that sexual energy, we step completely out of all of that by that need to control it. So my message to you today is to look at where are you trying to control your passion, your play, your thinking overboard? Where are you trying to really direct and guide your life experience and the things that you are creating by forcing it to come about instead of getting into your flow? And just play today with feeling what it's like to just open up and notice, like, hey, that feels good. I think I'm going to go do that. I think I'm going to talk to that person. I just thought about talking to this person. I think I'll pop them a text. I think I'll call them. I think I'll email them. Whatever that might be, let yourself be led by your soul today. Just a fraction of time. Spend just a fraction of time opening up and letting yourself be led, instead of trying to force everything and get it done according to your schedule, according to your timeline. Let your life develop in that flow and see how much more peace, how much more joy, how much more ease, how much more connection, abundance actually will just come to you when you put your attention on the enjoyment of your flow instead of the fear of your control. Okay? And yeah, I mean, it's really not supposed to be as hard as we think it is. And I know that I am a freaking control freak like no other. I struggle with this topic over and over again, and I bounce back and forth. But I notice within myself, like, I get instantaneously frustrated when I feel myself starting to control, and I hear these negative, fearful thoughts of doubt and, like, you're not enough, you're too much, you're this, you're that, you're not doing that right, blah, 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 popping up in my head, and I just get pissed at myself. I get so pissed. But in that pissed moment, I also gain awareness. And that is where you have to get. You have to get to that point of awareness of what is going on in here, and realizing that, hey, the feelings that I am having, this tension, this anxiety, this overwhelm, this fear, this doubt, this nervousness, this anger, this depression, all of it is not actually mine. It is being brought on by these thoughts that I am thinking, and I am opening myself up to, these negative, low vibe thoughts, and that's what is causing these feelings inside of me. So I can change the thoughts by putting my attention on something that is of ease, of flow, that is more random, as I like to say. It's just like, pick something random, pick something that is more joyous and just easy for you to do. And that you can just get into that creative energy, because activating that sexual energy, that creative energy will can be that catalyst to moving you in the right direction when you activate it, and then appreciate it, and then apply conscious thought, but not hard thought, ease thought toward it, and start to just pay attention to what is coming to you and what is flowing and how it feels. Oh, that feels good. Oh, that feels good. That feels good. That feels good. And just keep going that direction toward it. So for anybody who signed up for the puja, you're going to get probably a deeper version of some of this and more, and all this really cool stuff. Get to experience yourself. For anybody who's not signed up for the puja, tough luck. We're sold out. But like I said, there's more coming. In the comment section, you will see a link to my events page. So check back on that towards the end of this week for new events, the events that I just announced randomly on here for you guys today, because those will be written up and posted on my calendar for November. December, local peeps, we also have Orgasm Camp coming up, which is Winter Wonderlust in Dallas. So if you missed the August version of this, this will be the winter version of it. It will be coming up on December 7th also. So just some beautiful, beautiful winter events. There's also the Austin Tantric Festival coming up December 13th, 14th, and 15th down in, guess where? Austin. That's why it's called the Austin Festival, right? Yeah. And both Addison and I will be teaching, facilitating some workshops down there for that. So that is going to be an absolutely beautiful, beautiful event pulled together. There is a festival that's on the West Coast and on the East Coast, and Austin is the new central hub for this festival. So if you are interested in Tantra, you want to experience some different aspects of that, you can go on my events page there, December 13th, click on it, go get your ticket. There's a discount if you use the code that is on my website. You also get a discount by using the code there to sign up for the tickets, so that is available. And of course, as always, if I've said anything that touched you, made you think of somebody, gave you an aha moment, or you're just like, hey, this needs to be heard, please hit the share button at the bottom of this. And if you want one-on-one coaching, well, I am here for you. Reach out to me for details on that, either in the messages or private message me. And remember, you are worthy of that abundant life. You are worthy of all your dreams and your goals. And it is just right around the corner if you will only open up to receive it. Remember to stop existing, start living. I love you guys, and I will catch you tomorrow with another Conscious Coffee. Bye, everybody.